Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, e-bike videos for you guys. Mondays is anything goes. We talk about whatever we want to talk about on Mondays. And for those who did watch on Mondays, excuse this because I'm going to give a quick announcement here as well about the weight loss journey we've been going on. Now, technically, this is e-bike related because I did say that I was trying to go with 30 pounds off before the spring riding season. So here's a quick update for everybody. And also for those who watch on Mondays because it got updated. All right. I am now officially 1.2 pounds shy of my 30-pound drop. Yeah, I'm hoping to drop 30 pounds before the spring riding season, and we're only 1.2 pounds away from that. Yeah, how are you guys doing? I keep asking. Nobody seems to answer lately. Yeah, hopefully you guys have been trying to drop some weight as well. So I keep wondering, 30 pounds off, when we finally hit that, when we're finally outside, yeah, we're stuck inside again. Yeah, weather's not going to be that great this whole week. It's supposed to have a lot of rain in the United States. Rain and snow, I guess, in some places. But yeah, we're going to get a lot of rain for the next several days, they said. So maybe next week we can get out there. So anyway, yeah, I think if we all lost the weight, our range anxiety would be less, right? Because if you weigh less, it takes less effort to move the bike, and in response to that, the bike should give you more range. You should be able to go farther because there's less rolling resistance, right? Now, people have asked before, have I noticed it at all? And I think the couple of times that I did take the bike out earlier this year, I did notice it felt a little different. Yeah, it felt like a little lighter. So maybe, well, that's not the bike that's lighter. It's you that's lighter. And maybe that's actually doing some difference. So we won't know until we get out there and actually start doing some distance rides. I've been only doing local areas, as you know, and that'll probably continue until weather starts getting better. Yeah. So here's an interesting thing, just an update on some of the things that have been happening in terms of the e-bike world here for me. Yeah, 3 bikes are sitting in here currently. I can't get out to ride them. And 1 scooter is in here as well. So yeah, the scooter is the Varla Pegasus. So you can look that up if you want. You just go and look up the Varla website. You can see what scooter came in. Yeah, it's a nice scooter. Yeah, I will tell you that. It's not unusual to me because I did have the Varla Eagle 1 here, which is, I think sale prices were around the, I don't know what it was. I think at retail it was in the $1,800 ranges. I don't know if sale prices were $1,400, $1,500, something like that. So it is one of the better scooters on the market. And the Pegasus, I think sale price was like $899. Yeah, it looks equally as good. Yeah, I'm surprised. It's, again, dual motor, so there's a motor in front and back, and of course, it has suspension on the front and back wheels. So, yeah, you can bounce around a little bit. The deck is a little bit smaller. It's not quite as wide as the Eagle 1, but it looks pretty capable. Yeah, I'm actually surprised. So that review eventually will come out too, as soon as we can get outside. It's difficult for me when I see all these things starting to pile up and I can't even get out there to ride. So my apologies to the manufacturers who have sent the products to me and I just can't get out there. It's weather that's really kind of messing us up. I did take a look at some of the requirements of some of these videos that I've agreed to do, and there are clauses for weather. All right, I think the companies know that if it's really bad and you get the product in and you can't get out there, they're not going to force you to get out there. Okay, so thank you to the manufacturers for understanding that. All right. Okay, so what else has been going on here in terms of e-bikes? Well, one of the other companies asked me if I was ready to take the bike in, and I told them no. I mean, I did agree to do the review, but I told them, do not ship it yet. It's just going to sit here at this point. So they said, that, okay, no problem. Don't worry about it. Because, again, they know it's weather that's holding me back. If I lived out in the southern United States area, maybe I would have had better chances of getting out earlier, but I don't. I live in the Midwest. Midwest, we get snow and rain. A lot of rain, I tell you, tons and tons of rain. So Anyway, yeah, it rained yesterday, and yeah, days before it rained as well. So yeah, we can't catch a break. Sooner or later, we'll be out there. All right, what else has been happening? Oh, somebody asked me whether there was a new magicycle bike coming out. They asked that in the comments, and I looked at this bike. I go, that doesn't look like a new bike. It looked to me like either an Ocelot Pro or a Deer 20. You know, it was kind of a dark photo. He said, no, this is a new bike. And they even gave me a name of it. And I said, I hadn't heard anything about this. So I sent it to Magicycle, and they said, yeah, that's a photo of the Deer 20. So, yeah, I was right. Russ is always right. I told you guys that. Yeah, it's not a new model. It was a photo of the Deer 20, and I guess the person who posted it may have given it a name of his own. So, yeah. To that person, yeah, it's not a new model. It's the same old models. So, okay, now is Magicycle coming up with new stuff? I have no idea. Yeah, they haven't said anything to me one way or the other. So maybe new things are in development, maybe not, but I don't know any more than you know. So there you go with them, okay? Now, here's the thing, you know, as I kept thinking about new models versus older models, okay, some of the companies have already come out with stuff last year that were good enough that could be considered maybe this year's type products for other companies. Yeah, Magicycle being one of them, you know. When the Deer came out, the Deer 26 and the Deer 20 came out, then we're talking tire sizes, okay, 26-inch tires, 20-inch tires. It pretty much has a lot of the things that people want on there, right? I think the only thing it doesn't have is torque sensor, because some people prefer torque sensors. Maybe they're working on something like that. I don't know. I'm guessing, okay? But other companies are adding things like torque sensors on their bikes. Some of them have torque sensors or cadence sensors. That's like the U-Free bikes, right? And I'm chomping at the bit to try this bike out. I mean, I have two of them sitting here. It's right next to me here on the right-hand side. I look at it literally all day long, every single day, and I can't take the bike out. It's just sad. So anyway, Magicycle is still, I haven't said anything about torque sensors or anything, but look, it's got everything else. I mean, if you're a cadence sensor guy, if you're a full suspension kind of person, if you're a hydraulic brake person, what else? Yeah, front and back suspensions, like I said. If you're one of those type of people, they already have all that in last year's model, right? So I'm assuming it'll continue as this year's model. I mean, there's no reason to get rid of it. I mean, it's really a pretty decent bike for the money. Not everybody's suited for torque sensors. Some people are, some people aren't. Like I mentioned in the videos before, a torque sensor is good if you want to work, all right? Because the harder you pedal, the more the bike responds. And if you don't pedal hard, your bike doesn't respond, okay? Now, there's a number of us, including me, who sometimes don't have the leg strength or the desire to pedal hard, all right? In which case, the cadence sensor is the way to go. I'm going to tell you that right now, okay? Because if you just put a little bit of effort, I'm talking about, you don't even have to put a whole lot of effort. Just move the pedal, all right? The bike is going to move, all right? So if you're a person, let's just say this. If you're a person who likes to get on a bike, don't put lots of effort, but just want to get the exercise of keeping your legs moving, and you want to go fast if you want to. A cadence sensor rear hub bike is your best bet, okay? I'm going to come out and say that right now. Now, if you're a person who likes to work it, where you like to pedal and you like to pedal hard and you want to get the feel of the bike responding to your efforts, you want a torque sensor bike. And if you really want to go up hills with a lot of torque, you want a mid-drive bike, okay? Now, if you're a person who does not like to shift, you don't want to use your derailleur and shift your gears up and down constantly, you don't want the mid-drive bike, all right? I mean, these are things, I mean, in time, as you try different bikes, you start to realize what you like and what you don't like and what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But again, if you're a first-time buyer, how do you know? Pay attention. Let me say it one more time. If you want to pedal hard and you want the excitement of, hey, I put in the effort and the bike is responding to that effort, you want a torque sensor bike, okay? If you're one that doesn't like to work really hard, or maybe you have leg or hip issues that you cannot work real hard, but you want to still go fast if you need to, you want a cadence sensor bike. All right. The cadence sensor bike basically means this: as long as the pedals are moving, all right, it doesn't care how hard and how fast and whatever, as long as the pedals are moving even a little bit, the bike says, oh, he wants to go a certain speed. And as long as you use those pedal assist levels and you move up and down the pedal assist levels, it'll give you the speed that's been programmed for. You don't have to put a lot of effort and you will move, okay? That's a cadence sensor bike. Now, between the hub motors and the the hub motors and the mid-drive issue, mid-drive bikes tend to be more expensive. They're more expensive motors. The mid-drive bikes have more torque. Now, don't confuse that with the torque sensor, okay? It has more ability to climb hills, is what I'm saying. So in other words, if your area has lots of hills, you're going up and down, up and down, up and down, you might want the mid-drive because it has actually more ability to climb a hill better than the hub motors can, all right? So now, that doesn't say that the hub motors are not capable. You want to find out if the hub motor that you're looking at has enough torque. I know this gets confusing. They usually will rate the hub motors for torque ability. So the higher that number is, the better it will be able to climb a hill using the hub motor type. And torque sensors too. Torque mid-drives. See, I'm getting myself confused. Mid-drives too will also be rated by its torque ability. But the higher that torque number is, it basically means that you have the ability to be pushed up the hill better, because the motor has the ability to go up easier. Does that make sense? just try to remember this. Lots of hills. You have to put some effort with the pedaling. You're gonna want that mid-drive. Not that many hills. You don't want to put a lot of effort, but you want to move. Okay. You're gonna want the hub motors. It's gonna be easier for you. Okay. Just remember it that way. Now, let's talk about trikes versus non-trike bikes. Which of those do you want? Actually, I had a manufacturer recently ask me about trikes and my opinions of trikes and whether I would consider a trike or not, okay? So I told them the same thing I'm going to tell you, all right? I was able to ride a trike last year, almost 1 year to the date. I tried the Rad trike. Yeah, I was out in California visiting my sister, so we took a drive to Berkeley, California, and we visited the Rad Power Bike store out there. Okay, if you haven't seen that, just go back to month of March of last year. Oh, and what do they call that? Happy April Fool's Day today, because that's when you're watching this one. But anyways, in March of last year, I rode the Rad trike because it had just come out, and yeah, I found, and my sister found this too, that if the ground is not level, I mean totally level, if the ground is tilted left or tilted right, all three wheels have to stay on the ground in order for you to ride a trike. So if your ground is not level but it's tilted, okay, your bike is going to tilt. It's going to tilt to one side, and of course you as a person prefers to straighten your body up. So you're going to feel like you're going to fall off that bike because the trike is going to feel tilted, but you're going to try to stay vertical. Does that make sense? Okay. So I told the company that, I think a lot of people like the idea of a trike, but the minute they start riding one, they start thinking, this don't feel too good to me. All right. I feel like I'm going to fall off of this thing. Both of us felt the same way. And after a while, you do get used to it. Now, I know a couple of you guys who have e-bike channels have been riding trikes and been reviewing trikes. That's good. I mean, if it's good for you, that's perfectly fine. But for me, no, I'm not a fan. First off, if I was not capable of riding an e-bike, a two-wheel e-bike, I would look at the trike. Okay, let's just say that. Because if I can't have a balance where I cannot balance well on a regular two-wheel bike, I would be looking at an e-trike. But keep in mind, I'm not at the point where I can't ride a two-wheel bike. I have lots of them, and I ride them well, okay? So for me personally, am I a trike guy? And the answer is no, I'm not a trike guy, all right? Plus, on top of that, too, I said to them, I don't have a lot of space left in the house. Okay, it's not like my home doesn't have space. I could leave it all over the place if I want. I could leave it in the family room. I could leave it in the living room. First off, the living room is all eaten up with bikes, all right? And even the dining room has a couple of bikes in there, too. So, and so does the garage. But I don't want my whole house, and so does the downstairs room, which I call my office. That has bikes in there too. I don't want my whole house to have bikes at every single room, all right? I do have a basement. I do have a full basement. And people say, put it down there. You try moving that heavy bike up and down the stairs just to take a ride. Nobody wants to do that. First off, it's very difficult to do it, all right? I've tried moving a 100-pound bike up the stairs. Not easy to do. Some people say, can't you use the walk assist? No, you can't. Not on stairs, okay? So there's not a lot of space, and the trike will take up even more space. I mean, it's wide. Yeah, think about it. It's wider. I also mentioned, too, that the trike does take up space on a bike path. I mean, they could move to one side, but most people don't seem to. Those who I've encountered that had trikes, they tend to ride right in the middle of the path. So it's not enough space on the sides of either side to actually pass that trike. So if you want to pass the trike, you have to hit them with the bell, let them know that you're there. They'll try to move a little bit to the one side, but you still kind of feel if you stay on the path, you might run into them. So you have to go up on the grass to get away from them in order to pass. So it kind of eats up the space, okay? So why not ride it on the street? Well, you could, but again, it sticks out further, so cars could clip you a lot easier. So yeah, it's to me, it's more of a pain to ride the trike than it is to ride the bike. Does that make sense? So unless I'm to the point where I physically can no longer balance on a two-wheel bike, that's the point when I think I would consider getting a trike. So for those of you who are going back and forth, do I buy a trike? Do I buy an e-bike? Ask yourself some of these questions, okay? Now, if in your area, it doesn't matter. I mean, let's say you're in a senior environment. Let's say the community that you're at, there's people riding everything from trikes to golf carts to whatever, okay? Then it's not so bad to have something like a trike, okay? Because everyone kind of understands that's what happens. But if you're not in that kind of area and you're in an area where there's a lot of bicycles that ride the paths and the like, the trike will probably get in the way for a lot of people. Now, if you don't really care, and you could care less about the other people, and if they don't like the fact that you're taking up more space, then get yourself a trike, all right? Because you have just as much right to be on that path as they do. So having said all that, it's really a personal preference. If you feel that you need to be better balanced on a trike, get a trike. If you feel like I can still ride a bike, it's just a decision which way to go, then maybe consider the bike over the trike. Now, if you think, well, in a year or two, I might be such that I won't have the ability to ride a bike, get the trike, all right? Because then at least you'll have a longer usage of that investment of the vehicle that you purchased. That was a long explanation. But I felt it was important to let you know my feelings on trikes, because people have asked me too, why aren't you using a trike? Why aren't you buying a trike? Why aren't you reviewing them? That's why. It takes a lot of space. I don't have a lot of space. I can still ride an e-bike, so I ride the bike. It's my preference. It's just a personal preference. Now, does that mean I will never review a trike? No, that does not mean that. If the companies that I've been working with come out with a trike and they offered it to me, I might very well say yes to those, because I've already got a working relationship with some of the companies, right? Or if a company that I notice comes up with something and I say, I think I will try theirs, I might do it. But at this moment in time, my answer is no, I probably won't be doing a trike anytime soon. Give me a couple years, I might actually need to, but not at this point. I'm still able to ride and ride well. All right, here's another interesting thing. Okay, several people have said to me, and this is not just a few, actually quite a few people have said to me, says that, they always say, you don't look your age. Yeah, well, I feel my age. I've said this before, I'm 65 currently right now as of this video. I feel my age. I mean, I've gone through a lot of issues lately, as you know. I've had the knee replacement done, I've had diabetes and all that stuff, and Yeah, I feel my age. But oh, you don't look it. Oh, well, looks can be deceiving. Yeah, I'm an old guy, right? I'm 65. Okay, now some of you guys will say that's not old. I'm older. I'm getting there. Give me some time. I'm gonna get to your age one day too. But no, I feel my age. So yeah, don't let looks deceive you. I'm an old guy. All right. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I just wanted to bring up a couple of things concerning the bike versus trike issues and choosing the 8 cadence sensors or torque sensors or whatever. I mean, we covered it before, but I wanted to clarify it and also to let you know what the weight is. Yeah, proud of that. I'm actually, I mentioned in the past that I had lost 50 pounds. Well, I'm 1 pound shy of being at my 50 pounds. Yeah, because I think my all-time high was like 289. Actually, let's put that, I'm at my 50 pounds because what was I today? I was 239.2. So I'm 0.2 pounds shy of my 50-pound loss that I'd done from the all-time high. Yeah, I was 289 pounds at one time. Can you believe that? I was searching for photos of what I looked like when I was 289. I only found one photo that somebody sent me. It was actually one of my photography students. I asked them, I said, did any of you guys take a picture of me when I was in class? Because that's when my all-time high was, is when I started doing my photography school. And a person sent it to me, and I looked at that photo and I go, wow, I was really big. Yeah, you don't actually know that until you see it yourself, okay? You don't look at photos of yourself. You don't know that, okay? Okay, you could say, you could look in the mirror, but I don't usually look in a full-length mirror to look at myself. I just look at the upper half. So, yeah, I was pretty big. Yeah, 289 was my all-time high. And then recently, before we went into all this whole thing about the diabetes and stuff, my weight had gone from, I think, what was I? I was around 260. Because, I lose weight and then I gained it back. I was around 260 and then I went as high as 268, 269. I'm just calling it 268 at this point because it was mostly around 268. I think I may have peaked at 269, dropped back down real quick. So we call it 268. So right now, where are we at? Today was 239.2. Yeah, so we're just shy of another pound and something to reach the 30-pound weight loss from that range. But if you look from the all-time high, I'm back to my 50-pound weight loss almost by 0.2. 0.2 shy of the 50-pound weight loss. So yeah, everything is back to my older pants and everything that I wore when I lost the 50 pounds that I couldn't fit into, for years because I had gained the weight back. I didn't gain it all back. Like I said, I went up to 260 and then eventually to 268. So yeah, it is amazing that I tend to go up and down. But like I've always told people, it's easier for me to lose the weight than it is for me to keep it off. Yeah, so I never had a problem losing the weight. When I put my mind to it, I always able to drop it. But it's the long term of keeping it off. That's the hard part. So we have to keep it off at this point. We got the diabetes things going on. We have no option. So if we don't do it, we've got some serious health problems going on. So everything is good. So anyways, that's my updates for you guys too. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I'll talk to you guys next time.